Hello everyone, welcome to the Excel Mastery 60 Days Challenge. Day 1 is about using conditional formatting. We'll be showing you how to use conditional formatting quickly using the data set we have before us. This is what it will look like when we are done with the conditional formatting. So we will be demonstrating how to apply conditional formatting to highlight important data such as cells that are greater than or less than a particular value. We'll also use color scales to indicate that. If you notice here, we use color scales. We also use color scales in amount spent here, as well as we use data bars. We use data bars in budget as well. All right, so we have our data set now. Let us start with our difference column. We'll highlight our difference column. We want to have a different color scale to show us the depth of the difference. So to achieve conditional formatting on this difference column we have highlighted, we'll go to our home tab. Then under the styles group, we'll click on conditional formatting. Then we just want to go to new row, right? And on the new row, we want to format all cells based on their values. You can see the color scale we have here. If you have any interest in changing the color scale, you can. So because we see here on our difference, you can have more than 2 color scales. You can make it a 3 color scale. When you make a 3 color scale, you are going to have red, yellow, and green. Okay? So if you want to use this color scale, you go ahead and click OK. But I want you to look at this so that you have a clear understanding. Red will indicate the minimum value. Green would indicate the highest value. If you don't want red to indicate the minimum value, you can just click under minimum here. You can go ahead and click to change the color, but this default goes fine. The midpoint is a yellow color. You can as well change the color if you want, as far as you can remember the color scale. The maximum point, like I pointed out, shows the green. So if you are satisfied with this, you go ahead and click OK. As you can see, in our new formatting, you see that it has used the conditions that we pointed out that it should use. You see that the lowest, which is negative 1,500, is red. Let's go to our spending levels. In our amount spent, we want to understand how much we have spent basically just by indicating a color scale. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to apply color scale in 3 grades. We are going to use green for lower amounts, yellow for medium amounts, and red for high amounts. You notice that we could just do it the same way we did this, but I want to show you different ways we can just achieve this result. So highlight the amount spent column. We have already said for green, for low amount spent will be from 0 to 5,000. For yellow, for medium amount will be between 5,000 to 30,000. Then red for high amount will be over 30,000. So we head on to, after highlighting it, head on to conditional formatting. Here we want to use highlight cells rule. Okay, we want to use here now cells less than, right? We want to use cell less than. If you ever want to use to highlight something that is less than, you click on less than. When you click on less than, you have the less than box here out for you. And so since we are, our goal is to make green for amounts lower than 5,000, we are going to put 5,000 here, 5,000. Then on the color to indicate, we want to indicate with green. So we select green fill with dark green text. So you see that every amount, we'll click OK. You see that every amount with expenditure less than 5,000 indicates green. So let's go to yellow now for medium amounts. So we'll still leave the amount spent column highlighted. Then we head on to our conditional formatting, go to highlight cells row. This time we want to use between. We are using between because we want to use, we have a range. We are using between because we have a range. So if we do have a range, we use between. We click on between and we want to say between 5,000 to 30,000. So we'll say 5,000 to 30,000. So between 5,000 to 30,000 will be indicated with yellow, right? So we'll go and say yellow fill with dark text. So this is what we will do. We click OK. So this shows us the midpoint based on our scaling. Then the red will indicate high amounts. So it will be expenditure over 30,000, right? We leave it highlighted. We go to conditional formatting. Now we want to still go to highlight cells. We want to use, in this case, greater than. Okay, so in greater than, we'll say we want something greater than 30,000 and we want to make it red. Okay, so click OK. So we basically have been able to achieve this. You see, we have our low amounts in green, we have our mid in yellow, and our high amounts in red. So this way, when values change, it keeps telling us how they progress, where we have a red flag, a green flag, and basically a mid expenditure flag, which is the yellow flag. For the budget column, we want to use data bars. We highlight the budget column. We'll use data bars only. Head on to conditional formatting. You can see data bars here now. On the data bars, we have two kinds of data bars, the gradient fill and the solid fill. The gradient fill just gives basically a scale of dark to light, right? Let's use this gradient scale. You see what I mean? From a dark base to light tip. It's similar to you using a solid fill. It's just that a solid fill just goes across that way. If you use a solid fill, you just have one fill across. It's just a matter of what you like. Okay, so we have successfully added that here. So we want to add the same data bars here again on amount spent. So you go ahead, highlight it, and head on to conditional formatting, go to data bars, and then let's pick any color of your choice. You go ahead and pick any color of choice. So you have added data bars. So data bars just basically shows you the extent of the values you have in the cell. For instance, this is the longest data bar, right? And you can see that it is that long because you have 50,000 in the cell. This is the smallest data bar. It's that small because you have 3,000 in the cell. So that is what data bars can be used. So I just want to add a bonus in this video. If you notice, we have on conditional formatting, we have icon sets. So you can basically use any icon set here to indicate what the spending is like. And let's just pick this, say, the traffic lights, right? So you'll notice that even with the traffic lights, if you add the traffic lights, you'll find out that what is red is red. What is yellow is yellow. What is green is green. In case you want to use those icon sets, you can play around with those icon sets and see how they work. They are basically, conditional formatting is basically easy and it has a lot to add to your skill as a data analyst. Thank you very much. Please subscribe to participate in our 60 days challenge.